That's right. Family Medicine's leading voice in social media with new audio equipment. This is the Family Medicine Rocks podcast. My name is Mike Sevilla. Follow me on Twitter, Dr. Mike Sevilla, Dr. Mike Sevilla. Also, FamilyMedicineRocks.com. Also, Facebook.com/FamMedRocks. And so the first topic I'm going to be talking about here today is next week's podcast, next week's show here on the Family Medicine Rocks podcast. Very exciting. Going to be doing something that I've never done before. Going to be kind of having a simulcast of a podcast. Let me explain. I'm going to be having the kids from the Your Health Talk podcast on the show here. Check out their podcast at yourhealthtalk.org. They are medical students. That's right. They are medical students who are using all of their free time, basically not a lot of their free time. I don't know how they do it. And they use social media. They use the audio social media or the podcast to talk about things that are important to them. And they have a pretty good show, pretty good podcast at yourhealthtalk.org. I'm going to play a little bit of a segment of their show coming up. They talk about health policy type of issues. They talk about issues like over-medicating. They talk about issues like healthcare reform. You can get all of that at yourhealthtalk.org. They're also on iTunes. And they're going to be coming on this show 1 week from today. And what we're going to do is that they're going to be coming on live on this show. And I haven't really figured out the format yet. But they're going to be coming on live on this show. And then we're going to be recording a segment for their podcast. So they will be releasing it on their RSS or a subscription feed as well. So we're still trying to work out the details on that. But they have many, many hosts and co-hosts on their end. So it'll be very interesting to see how I'm going to try to interview all of them and how all of them are going to try to interview me about what I'm doing and the story that I'm trying to tell. So definitely check out the show next week. That is May 16th. And welcome back to the Family Medicine Rocks podcast live here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. My name is Mike Sevilla. Go check out FamilyMedicineRocks.com for more information and to check me out. So topic 2 is a very exciting podcast that I'm going to be interviewed on this evening as I'm recording this. And it is called Just Talking, the Just Talking podcast. With Chris Snyder, and you can go to justtalkingpodcast.com, and he interviews a lot of interesting people from a lot of different industries and a lot of different places. I encourage you to subscribe to him on iTunes and go to justtalkingpodcast.com. I got to see him and listen to his work a few months ago. Because, as you know, I've talked about on this show, going to the huge Medicine X conference this fall at Stanford. And Chris was the moderator of a panel of e-patients on Google Hangouts a few months ago. And I thought he did a great job as a moderator, so I checked out his podcast, and he did a lot of interviews with people from the MedX conference, along with other people in other industries on his podcast. But recently, probably in the last couple of weeks, got to check out an interview with our good friend Nick Dawson, who I had met before and hope to get on this show at some point. Nick's a great guy. Not a physician, not medically trained, but astutely understands a lot about healthcare delivery, the right way to deliver healthcare, how to involve a lot of different stakeholders in healthcare change, especially involving patients. And it was a great conversation with those two. I'm going to play a little bit of a segment here for you from that. But to get the full episode, I encourage you to go to justtalkingpodcast.com, or if you're on iTunes, search for Just Talking Podcast.